Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Boardmasters with me, Chris Mullins, and tonight we will be diving back into the Seventh Continent and the Voracious Goddess curse. So this will be part 2. Link to part 1 will be in the description below, but with that being said, let's dive straight back in. So following on from last week, I basically learned what you do with food. You treat it in your inventory the same as anything else you craft, and then it's basically easier if you can have it in its own separate pile. So that's what I've done. And with that being said, let's get off this first island as quickly as we can because we've all seen it before. Okay, so to move, I need to draw 2. And I think I will get rid of both of those and I'll move here. And then we are back at the chasm. So I need to draw 3 cards minimum to get 1 success. And then I think I'll use one of my, I'll just check the discard pile and see if I've got one that reduces the cost a moment. Yeah, so I'll use my remember card for that. And then I'll play my learn by doing so I can reduce the cost by 3. So I only need 1 success basically. So for that I will draw 2 cards. And luckily I got it because one was a curse. And it just saves me using an extra card that I don't need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I want to craft any of those? No, don't think I'd do it at this point. So we got over the chasm, so let's get card number 17. Okay. A 30-foot long submarine is hanging from 2 cranes, keeping it above the surface of the water. There is not a soul in sight. And we dance on over to that. Okay. So we've been here before in our previous journey through the Crystal Song, and so we know there wasn't much happening in the cemetery as some sort of ghost appeared that thankfully we didn't have to combat. I believe 164 was similar to the cards we had on this side of the island where you're just looking at maybe swimming away, whereas our attention needs to be on the submarine on card number 22. So the cranes support the submarine above the water by chains attached to either end. Each chain runs through a pulley located at the top of a crane. Lowering and submerging the submarine obviously requires great precision and skill. So this is a locked event where I can only draw 1 card for 1 success in order to lower the submarine into the water. I do have a rope that will basically guarantee me a success on that. I might risk it. No, this is too important, I think. I'll use my rope to give me a star. Well, it's -1 and or a star, so I can give myself -1 and a star. So presumably when it's locked, that can, I'm going to assume that can be affected by card effects. Or actually, I'm just going to pause it there while I just check that. Okay, and welcome back to that. I have just checked the rules and I was right. You can apply effects from your card to affect the lock. So I'm going to give myself -1 cost and 1 success. So I know I'm successful with that. And so I have to return the terrain card you are standing on and replace it with a 24 card. Okay. So the submarine is in the water. Now set off as quickly as you can. You never know what could happen. And we discard that. And number 37. Okay, stepping into the submarine, you see that the former occupants apparently took anything of use. Entering the control room, you immediately check the remaining fuel. All you have to do is restart the engine and you'll be able to leave this blasted place. So I can draw one card, needing no successes. And that's quite handy actually, because I'm going to want to craft a fire pretty soon, because I've got all those foods to use. And my action deck is getting a bit lower than I'd want. Although I do need to discard something for that. I'll discard the camouflage outfit, I think. Okay, so on success you draw 21 plus that icon, which is why we went and got the 2 gear wheels. So we've got +6 and +6, so that would actually be 33. Okay. The submarine's engine rumbles to life and begins to steadily hum as it settles into gear. You pull away from the shore and leave the island without further delay. The control room is cramped and uncomfortable. Despite the noise from the engines and the head-spinning fuel smell, you are all too happy to be the captain of the submarine, at least for a little while longer. After navigating for about 20 minutes, you can suddenly make out the wild coast of the 7th continent in the distance. Luckily, the gauges indicate that you have just enough fuel to get there. Take 3 cards. Not the goal. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So a moment from your previous expedition comes to mind. Viho, your group's Cheyenne Pathfinder, had an amazing ability to spot past the places that were otherwise unreachable. Examine terrain cards carefully. In addition to potential hidden numbers, they may contain helpful hints such as animal tracks suggesting the presence of wild game in the area. Next one. An event from your previous expedition comes to your mind. Your team once spent a whole day making a stretcher to carry Emil Z. As a matter of fact, the closest trees were over 3 miles away from where he had broken his leg. So when you craft an item, you will save time and energy if you have the right resources at hand instead of looking for the materials you need. And third and final one. So from, again, a memory from your previous expedition. Jimmy, the military demolition specialist, kept repeating, if a stupid rock is stopping you, you'll get rid of it faster with dynamite than with a pickaxe. Sometimes it is wise to postpone an action until you have the appropriate equipment. That's a bunch more experience points we've got there, so we're up to 5 now. And let's read the rest of the card. Banish the 2 Metal Gear Wheel cards that are under the satchel and journal. Okay, that's the banish space. Return all the cards on the board and in the past, and then banish a green 17 card. Okay, so, and then put into play a card depending on which direction. In the Crystal Song playthrough, we went north-northwest. I think I am going to head straight north because that's kind of the direction it looks like on the clue, the map that we have. So I'm going to head north, which is card 132. So again, I'm going to pause it there while I clear the board and start again. Hello and welcome back. Thank you for bearing with me while I did that. So I've got my number 132 card here for heading north, and let's explore the 7th continent. So the area appears to be clear of any danger. However, a few fresh tracks suggest that some animals have passed through here recently. Okay, so they're heading off to the right by the look of it. This one does look familiar from the Crystal Song, but I don't think I ever actually explored it. Okay. So I'm going to do the action for 74 while I'm on there. So draw. Actually, what I might do is build a fire. As I've got the leaf resource there, so I only need to draw 1 card, which is a friction fire, so I'm not going to need that. So that's a success. So put a fire figure into play and discard this. So I presume, discarding it, I put it in the discard pile, don't I? So I now have fire, so I think I'm going to blaze through some of this food. So I know the crabs give me more back if I have a fire resource, so I'm going to prioritise those. I might save the fish. So with the crab, randomly take 3 cards or 6 if you have the fire resource, and shuffle them back into the action card, into the action deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then return that. And then I'll do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And do the same again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know what? Part of me is tempted to just use the fish while I've got the fire, because it at least gets me an extra card. Yeah, why not? And it frees up an inventory slot again. How many times have I done that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, yeah. Good, don't want to be doing that twice. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So that action deck is looking a lot healthier now that we're on the mainland. Again, forgive my terrible shuffling. As I said, I am pretty new to the hobby and I am just certainly not good at this yet, particularly with sleeves. I always thought sleeves made shuffling easier, but for me it just clumps them together. But that'll do, I think. Okay. Number 1, number 2. So we're all fed and prepped. Okay, so let's look at card number 74. So I draw 1 card, and that's the shovel. I think I will keep that. Yeah, okay. Fine, so succeeded there. Card number 74. Okay. Animal spoor and some tufts of fur on the nearby rocks indicate animal activity of some kind. You hide and wait in ambush, ready to pounce on any potential prey. Okay, so it's a locked card where you can take 2 to get 3 successes or more, and that'll tell us how many. And then if at least 1 character involved is bloody, which I am not, I don't actually have any injuries at the moment. Okay. I do have the trap, or the club. No, it'd be the trap that I use on this one. So do I want to use the trap, which will give me 1 star and 2 7 stars. We've just seen how useful food is, and I'm on a fire space already, so I think we've got to go for it. And then I've got to draw 2 cards. And let's see what we get. Big fat nothing. So I'll discard that. That was a bust. I'll pop that in the past. That's a shame. But I'm going to see if, can you do hunting again? Okay. It's a gold one. You notice what looks like some older animal tracks. The tracks may not be the freshest, but with some patience and the appropriate equipment, you hope to be able to catch some game. Okay, so you can hunt again, but it's going to be a lot more expensive. So I've got to draw 5 cards to get 4 or more successes. Okay. I think I'm going to go for it. Is there anything in here that gives me 3 stars? Yeah, so I might use a remember card and discard that to give me a forewarned is forearmed card, which will give me 1 free star. And then I'll draw 5 more cards. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I've got 2, 3, 3.5, 4. And unfortunately, all those halves are the same way, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gives me 250 cards. And in terms of the card I'm going to keep the snowshoes, because as you can see, there's a bit of snow on that terrain, and remember that from the Crystal Song, and based on our map we're heading north. And I'll discard this woven basket. Okay, so I get 250 cards. Okay. Empty-handed. You've spent too much time already and have to face the facts. Any further hunting is a waste of time. There is nothing here. And a snake. A long green snake sits coiled amidst the rocks, poised to strike. Okay. So that's locked at 0 cards. Or I can use a weapon. Weapon is going to give me 2 successes. Is there anything that's going to let me draw more cards? That'll give me 1 success. That'll give me 3, so I'm going to have to do that. So again, I'll use my other remember card to bring back the forewarned is forearmed to give me 1, and then I'll use my club, which will give me the 3 stars there, to give me 4. So I pin and sever its head, killing the dangerous reptile. Take 2 number 3 cards. Again, I'm hoping I'm using those star 7s correctly. I'm not entirely sure. I think the rules are a bit vague. Now, I know you get bonuses if you draw cards and they're 7s, but if it's a star and a 7 on there, does that just count as a star? Not 100%. Let me know in the comments down below which way I should be playing it, but until I know, I'm going to carry on playing it this way. Okay, so 2 number 3 cards. So another experience from your previous expedition. Daniel M., the team's anthropologist, taught you that prehistoric man's wisdom teeth were designed to replace their molars as they were eroded by the intense chewing of raw meat. Eating cooked food enables you to regain far more cards than raw food. Remember to make fire. Already have. And then we have a gold number 3 card. So Sir Leopold Guinaud, a contagiously merry Belgian ethnologist, was a perfect all-rounder. He was so eager to expand his learning every day that anything could become a subject of investigation for him. Many mocked the callus ointment he had made from Eubellus and his habit of mashing termites on the back of his neck in order to repel mosquitoes. In the end, thanks in part to these idiosyncrasies, he did make it through the expedition, unlike others who seemed fitter at first glance. Inexpensive advanced skill cards increase the size of your action deck more quickly and cheaply. Immediately after this is revealed, return the 6-3 green cards. Okay, so this gives me 7 experience points basically. So it's 1 extra, but instead of me having 7 cards, I now only have 1. Does that make sense? Okay. So that wasn't particularly successful, unfortunately. And let's have a look. And one thing I realised when I was editing the first part of the Voracious Goddess anyway, was that I was trying to be more efficient and just going to the points on the island I needed to go to. But whilst doing that, I was still flipping every single event card. And I realised that a lot of these events are timed ones, and they don't give you a choice whether you want to attempt them or not. So I was using a lot of cards, flipping event cards to uncover terrains that I was never going to. So I think now I'm going to try and prioritise the decision in terms of where I want to go and only do those event cards. Now I know I need to go north, which isn't an option now. I'm pretty certain over here there's the hut where you can have a fight potentially, and I don't have a gift, so that's the way I would probably have to go. So I'm going to go this way and explore over here. So bees, that sounds promising. Hundreds of bees are buzzing around a hollow trunk. Your stomach rumbles at the thought of all the delicious honey that must be inside. So 1 card for 3 success. Okay. But it is a stealth action. I do have bandages that I can use, which again, as far as I'm aware, gives me 2 stars and a 7. So I'd only need 1 star from what I draw. Okay, let's go with that. So let's use the bandages. Draw 1 card and get a success and a walking stick. So take 1 number 3 card, which I've stored over here to make them easily accessible when I'm filming them later. So that's another experience point. I'm not going to read it because we've heard it all before. And a 221 card. I'm hoping this is going to be some sort of food. Well, honey, obviously, but okay. Your extreme meticulousness pays off. You manage to break off a large piece of honeycomb from the hive without the bees attacking you. Randomly take 6 cards from the discard pile and shuffle them back into the action deck and discard this. So I will do that. So although I didn't have any luck with the hunting, I did stumble across a beehive that was quite productive straight after. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then we need card 131. There seems to be a small clearing amidst the close, comforting pines that provide good cover and protection from the wind. Okay. And then we got a passage to the north, which is what I was hoping for, and a further passage on to the east. So I'm going to head on over that way now. So 1 card, and that's the panpipes. I'm going to get rid of the knowledge is power. And then I will move over here. And then I'm going to craft the walking stick, which I can do for free. That's a will, so I'm not going to combine it with anything. But that's going to give me a weapon when my club is about to run out. So let's look at number 71. So I drew a card, so that was all fine. You discover a camp that seems to have been deserted long ago. It provides you a rudimentary shelter and some basic comfort. Immediately after this is revealed, one involved character may choose one card with the keyword Serenity in the discard pile and add it to their hand. Serenity. And of course I don't have one. So then I need one success. Okay, let's just draw one card for one success because there's no penalty for failing. I've got that for a blowpipe, and again get rid of this knowledge is power. So treble 0 card, which is rest and recuperation is a great opportunity to reflect on your experiences from the last few days and to focus on the skills you're developing. Randomly take 4 advanced skill cards from the game box and then spend as many experience points to purchase the cards of your choice. Each purchased advanced skill card gets either shuffled into the action deck or added to the hand of one involved character, then return those you did not purchase. Oh, perfect. So we're finally going to get some advanced skills going. Let's give these one of my patented terrible shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I have 8 experience points that I can potentially spend here. Okay. There's a spike trap, bird cool, resourceful, you may use the resources that are available on the terrain cards adjacent to your terrain card, or a shield. So I could get a shield and a bird cool. I think I'm going to stick with the resourceful one. I'm going to stick those back in. They are all spent. I'm going to pop them there. And I'm going to keep this in my hand and discard. Do I have need for a blowpipe? I might in a minute. No, let's discard the panpipe. Okay. So I can now use the leaf resource as well as the wood. Okay, excellent. So again, I want to head north, so I'm going to ignore this event. Stalked. You have an uneasy feeling that you're being followed. Backtracking is the only way to be sure. The active player must perform one of the following actions. Look, or look with 2 cards trying to get 1 success, or 3 cards with one if you're paranoid. Again, this is the one where you need to fail it. Do I want to draw 2 cards? I think it's the only chance I've got of failing it. To get 1. Oh, I actually did it. Amazing. Okay, fine. So I failed that one. There are no tracks. You are worried for nothing. You may choose 1 card with the keyword Serenity. I don't think... Have I added one with Serenity? Absolutely not. Okay, but that is stalk done. And then we need card number 136. Okay. Although the snow is still deep in places, most of it has melted, leaving the soil drenched. As we can see on that card, there is the icon for snowshoes. So that's going to make moving around a lot easier. Shame we don't have a rope. But we do have wood. Okay, so I can draw, I need to draw 2 cards. I'll keep the bolus and craft the snowshoes, and I'll combine it with the walking stick because they're both will cards, which gives me then a usage of 6. Okay, and then I will walk on up. Actually, a bit of retconning. Before I do that, I'm going to use my walking stick to walk up here because it reduces the cost by 2, so I don't need to draw anything to walk, and then I'll do the snowshoes and attach it to there because it's the same resource, which then makes that 6 again. Okay, so we've got 3 encounter cards all around. And I think that is as good a time as any to end the video. And I think I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to look at 1, 2, 3 of the events? Have a look at all of them? Which direction do you want me to prioritize now? Do I want to keep going north? Do I want to head back west to see if there's anything in the snow over here? Do I want to go east? I'm going to leave that up to you, and hopefully you will not lead me astray, and we'll find that out next week. But if you've watched that, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much. It is really appreciated whenever anyone watches my videos, so thank you, and I mean that. And with that being said, I hope you look after yourself and stay safe, and have a good one. Bye-bye now.